How are we doing? How are we feeling? Welcome to a magical little portal today. Let me take my thumbnail photo for you in just a moment. But first, let me pop on the screen so I can do it in front of you. Hello. I've prepared a little whimsical outfit for today. Let me pull this a bit closer to me. There we go. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Tarot Thursday at that. Let me go ahead and turn this music down just a little bit. Hello. I hope you are all feeling ready to relax, ready to calm down, and potentially get your readings read, get your questions answered. If it feels like today is your day, and if not, you can quietly spectate. I was gonna say quietly pectate. I don't know where that was gonna come from, but I love spoonerisms. I do them every day, all the time. This is a new blanket. This is a blanket that I received from the wish list. It's actually different than the one that I had on there. But I still like it enough to keep it, so we're gonna keep it for now. I actually have a few clips in my hair. It's a bit hard to see, but I've got a few different clips. I honestly might leave these off just for the sake of showing my hair off. And let's actually take a thumbnail on your end of things, because I don't feel like preparing my phone for this. Let me get situated. Let me put this side or this side. I think I like this one. Ooh, yeah. Perfection. Perfection. Thank you. I think I would be a good Reiki practitioner as well. I've always been very open to learning how to do that. I think I have a pretty intuitive understanding of it, but I never hate a mentor or two. Anyway, so this is the outfit for today. Let me give you a little bit better of a glimpse. Here is the outfit, accessories. I even did a little clip. I'm trying to do a full 360 themed look. The purpose of this is to try and challenge me at least every Thursday to dress up nice and whimsically. Because why not? As I said yesterday, it's not like I have a dress code or anything. So for today, here is my appearance. Fee. Happy 11 months. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. one of my favorite numbers. For those of you that don't know, 11 and 7 are, that's it for me. Those are the two numbers. Those are the ones for me. Let me try and pull this mic a little bit closer so I don't have to sit as far forward. I apologize in advance for any additional noises. Hello, hello. Let me check myself. Hello, hello. Sounds pretty good to me. Okay. Are we ready to get started? Thank you for the cheer slam, or the donation, moreover, of 678. I love that you always do sequential number orders. 567, 678. I like it. What started that? What caused you to want to do things in that way? Just curious. The hair reminds you of Wonder Woman? Interesting. Is it these? I feel like Wonder Woman has leafy things like this. I also have different bracelets that are Wonder Woman to a T. Just with the gold, like, solid cuff. Pull my sleeves forward a little bit so I can have more movement, more range of motion. I love corsets, but they are a bit restricting in terms of movement. So, what do you guys think of this look for a potential roleplay? Something like the princess's, I was gonna say like assistant, but I don't really know what the proper name for that is. I would have to look it up. Someone in the royal kingdom helping you calm down, or maybe a spa day, something relaxing. Ancient Rome or Greek? Okay. I like the idea of that. Thank you, Jorge. Have a great rest of your work shift. I hope that it's not too strenuous for you. I like that you're all saying it's very Greek. I was just kind of going for whimsical fantasy, so Aphrodite, for sure. I can see that. I can see that. I like that. I like the idea of a Greek princess interrogating you through conversation so that she can help commit espionage. That sounds very relaxing. Very, very relaxing. Alright, well, I am going slowly but surely over to my tarot document. I did really like having it on my computer, my laptop, but it's okay. That is just okay. We have a first reading for Charlie Hooper, and I think I might need to turn on the tarot. And we should change the color of this for today. What color are we thinking? Also, be nice. How does my skin look? I've been using the Oreo. I combined both words again. The oil that Mario gave me. The Oreo? Excuse me. I've been using Oreos on my face. What do you think? Are they working? I've been, using them from the inside out by eating them. You think this should be purple? Okay. I like that. We can do purple for sure. Slam, thank you for gifting a sub. Okay, let's see. What kind of purple? Light purple, dark purple, bright purple. I think I like that. I'll make it just a little bit lighter. I think I like this. What do you guys think of that? The Twitch purple. Okay. What do you think of this before I change it? You want it to be brighter than this? I like the idea of like a royal purple. A little bit lighter, okay. Let me discern. I think that is as light as I'm willing to go. What do you think? That looks pretty Twitch purple to me. Maybe more transparent. I just worry that you won't be able to see the text. But I'll give it a little try. I like the first purple I had a little bit more, to be honest. Personally speaking. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna make it darker because I think it looks a little better. But I'll also make it a little more pink for you guys. There. I think that is perfection. And I like it right about there. And I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. Hopefully you agree with my choices, because I'm not gonna touch it ever again, so that will be the way it stays. Can I guess your favorite color? You sure can. Go ahead. What do you think it is? Is your eye color gray? No, but some people have said that. I think it's green. Personally, green with a blue rim around the outside of the iris. And I've got some like brown little specks on the very center. Green. I think yeah, but also I would actually say I think my favorite color is gold. at this point. I love gold with everything. I think every single color looks good with gold. So I think gold first. And then honestly, green, but a very specific shade of green. Like honestly, I don't even think I can say green. Like I think like any of these greens, sorry, it's hard to see. Any of the greens that are in this little back part right here, like seafoam green, that color and gold. Tiffany & Co. had it right with the cyan. Yeah, blue-green mixed. That was always my favorite as a kid. Always, always, always. Well, anyway, we have our first reading for Charlie Hooper, deck of choice, public. Oh no. Oh my gosh. It's so soon into the stream, I can't be yawning yet. Oh dear, oh dear. This is public, deck of choice. And the question is, how can I better support myself this month? October 33rd. Welcome back. How can I better support myself this month? That's a really good question. And all readings today are going to come with an additional pull from this affirmation set. First, I need to decide on a deck for the main one, which this one really matches my outfit today. It looks even better in person, I promise. Your first reading, that's very exciting. Let's see. We're gonna do, since I already acknowledged this presence, we're gonna start here. And I am kind of feeling called to this, but equally so to these. So I'll let you choose if you would rather have a supplement of the karma cards or the cat tarot. Which one would you like on top of the work your light? Thank you for gifting a sub to Castiel21. Hello, hello, welcome in. This question was for Charlie specifically, so we're gonna let them answer. Cat, please. Okay, so we have the cat, we have the work your light, and then we will end with a nice affirmation card. Alright, alright. How can you better support yourself this month? We are just starting October, so a great time to ask. I haven't had my coffee today, so I apologize. I'm probably gonna be yawning a lot more. Thank you for the cheer slam. You need an espresso. Isn't an espresso a Keurig thing? I have a Keurig machine. And I have coffee for it. I just didn't make myself any. Because you know what I don't have actually is creamer. And I don't really like black coffee. Do you drink your coffee black? Curious. Curious to see who likes to torture themselves. Oh, you're absolutely stunning. Just perfection, but your eyes are finest. Like Mother Nature's in itself. Wow. That's really sweet, thanks. What if you had a gold heart emote? That could be nice. What if I had a golden heart that like went like this and it had like plants growing out of it? I think I would probably use it all the time. I like that. We are currently shuffling some cards. Getting ourselves ready for Charlie's reading. And Charlie, I'm going to have you choose between deck number 1 and deck number 2. Pick whichever one feels like it's just calling out to you. 1 or 2. And again, keep the question rolling over in your mind. How can I better support myself this month? How can I better support myself? This is for Charlie Hooper. Deck number 1. Deck number 2. 1, 2. Deck number 1. Beautiful. I am going to take this card out because it feels like it would like to be read. Shuffling again before splitting the deck once more into 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. You're afraid to take a tarot reading. I understand that. I personally don't think there's anything to be nervous about, but I can understand why it might scare you. Number 1 again. Okay. This time, I'm going to have you choose 1 card out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. One of my favorite numbers. Out of these 11 cards, choosing 1 that feels like it really is calling to you. 1 card. Lastly, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and look at that, 11 cards. Once again, let me know which one you choose, 1 through 11. Alright. Saving those for another time. Got these 3. I'm not sure why I started with the Cat Tarot intuitively. That's not even the first deck that I wanted to work with. But it clearly had something to say. I'm going to move along to the Work Your Light deck. Alright. Taking these out the box. To split them in half and shuffle these. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Relaxing. I am so sleepy right now. I'm very, very relaxed. If you feel like I do, and you are lucky enough to be able to go to sleep right now, I would encourage you to sleep on behalf of me as well. I would love to take a little teeny nap right here, right now. But I will not. Good night. Very sleepy, but very calm as well. Feeling very relaxed. So, I'll take that. I'll take being relaxed and tired over very stressed. Alright, Charlie, we have 2 decks for you to choose from yet again. This is deck number 1, deck number 2. Choose wisely. 1, 2, 1, 2. I was wondering when my bid day was gonna go off. I could have sworn I heard it a little earlier. That card pulled very strongly visually to me, so I'm popping it out. One more choose for you. Choice, but I like saying choose because it just sounded sillier. One more choice for you. 1, 2, 1, 2. I might need to go get my pumpkin spice Starbucks. I just might. My choice, your choose, is number 1. Love that. Well, now that you have choiced number 1, you're gonna pick one card out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Would you look at that? I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. It really is just happening to be 11 cards every single time. Also, I appreciate those of you that are answering on behalf of Charlie, but this reading is just for Charlie right now. And if you would like to pick your own cards, you can do so here. This information works in both YouTube and the Twitch chat. So feel free, if you would like your own reading, to get into the queue. We don't have anyone in there. At least I don't think we do. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you choose 7, which is this one. 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. It is perfectly fine with me if we have a little bit of a slow tarot today. We can always do other stuff. Alright. Last but not least, we are going to pull you an affirmation card. These cards are very shiny. Look how shiny. Hey, this is the one from yesterday. What the heck? Why does it keep showing up again? Thank you. I'm glad you like my hair. I spent a little bit of time on it today, which is why I told you guys I'm glad that you liked my bun yesterday, because I actually did a trial run of this hairdo, and I was going to wear it yesterday, but then I ate one of my favorite snacks as of lately. And it's gonna be really, really random. And you've probably never had it before yourself. But I do a croissant. and then I rip little pieces of it and I dip it in pistachio cream, which is store-bought, but I'm sure you could make it yourself. And it's pistachios, sugar, cocoa butter. I think that's mainly it. Maybe a little bit of oil of some kind, but pistachio cream, croissant together. It's so good. And yet, unfortunately, when I looked down, I think it was like right about here, I had a huge little green blob. And I was like, oh, that's pistachio cream. Looks like I won't be wearing this on the stream today. So I put some spray on it. It came right off, but the spray I used as a soap, it needed to be washed off immediately, so I had to wash my dress yesterday after doing the trial run of the look. And thus, I just knew it was destined to be on the Tarot Thursday. I just knew. I just knew. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one for you. Hee hee. Oh, I got chills. I don't know if you can see, but I just got full body chills from reading that. Very good, very good. Charlie, are you ready? It was good, yes. Interesting. Maybe not good nor bad, just intriguing to me. And I'm curious how it will manifest itself moving forward. We have all of the cards pre-chosen for this reading, which makes me very excited. So we just get to kind of rattle through them, read the definitions, see what they're all about, and then come to a conclusion together. All right. Let me reveal your cards to you in order. I have two cards that I pulled out. I'll save those for a little bit later. We have the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Wands upright, Nine of Swords, Wands, I can't remember which symbol that stands for. But we have an Eight of Cups and a Nine of either Wands or Swords from the Cat Tarot. We have Protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And then we have your affirmation that I will save until the very end. And you'll understand why once I read it. For now, we're going to take a look at these cats. And this one, also I just want to preface, before it screeches, there's a train passing. Become aware What is that noise? It's a train. It's a train passing, so just relax, breathe, knowing the train is passing, okay? This card, when we were originally pulling it, I had this really strong feeling to tell you, I think this might be something of the past. I think this might be either a confirmation put into words of what you've already been going through. You know, just kind of like a yes, you've been struggling as much as you thought you have been. And this is part of moving forward. But I could be totally wrong. I just remember when I had you pull a card from either deck. The first one I had you pull, this one, I almost said, I think this is a card from the past, not necessarily where you're going towards, but what you're coming from. And then I stopped myself because I didn't want to put pressure on anything conceptually. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and see if I was right. And flip to the Eight of Cups in reversed. And this card says, which again, if you feel resonant to this being something you're already doing, that's why. It's because this is kind of like where you're coming from, what you're currently standing within that you are going forward out of. This card in general says, not everything in life is about material or physical possessions. Do some seeking and figure out what it is you want in life and reach for something meaningful. In reversed, this card says it's time to turn off the faucet and to take a long, hard look at yourself. It isn't easy to examine our feelings of disappointment or simply not having attained enough. But clinging to the past isn't serving you either. You'll know when it's the right time to take action. So even if this card isn't actively in the past, there is an aspect of rumination that seems like it's happening, where perhaps you're staying so stuck in an identity of yourself from who you once were, even though you don't want to be that person anymore and you don't really like who that person is. You're staying stuck in certain traits of that, where it's feeling like it's a very difficult task to move forward from the past you, the past experiences, because that's still who you know yourself to be at this time. You haven't quite figured out the transition between that version of you and the one you're looking to become. The one you know you have the capabilities to become. You know you can do it. And that's why the universe is kindly asking you to turn off the faucet, to take a break, and give yourself the space to take a long, hard look. And this is in fact a wand card. The Nine of Wands. Ooh, and okay. This one is going to go straight into the transition into the next deck. No matter how worn down you may already feel, and this is very important, remember I said already, protection is the main card that we've chosen from the Work Your Light deck. Protection. No matter how worn down you may already feel, it might be time for you to guard your own territory carefully. You are safe. You have a nice, sturdy wall of protection around you. With that being said, this is not a time for complacency. This is a time for courage, persistence, and great strength. You are very close to having everything you want, but you must remain on the lookout. So again, kind of coinciding with this, it's time to take a nice, long reevaluation of everything that's happening. And to do so, you need to remember that you're currently safe enough to take the pause. You can afford yourself that liberty, but it cannot come at the expense of your deliberate, what's the word I'm looking for? Not mindfulness, but deliberate presence in your life, in your space, in your boundaries with other people. No matter how worn down you feel, how internally you may be processing things, it is definitely not a time to just lose sight of life, lose sight of people. Keeping one foot in the door while you have the other one being mended, being fixed, is going to be a very smart and seemingly necessary step to take along this journey. I am going to save both of the cards from the Work Your Light and the Cat Tarot that I intuitively pulled for you until after I read your affirmation. We are now going to transition into the protection. And this card is on page 104. And it says, again, call your power back, cut the cords, soul retrieval. So again, this is very in line with guarding your territory. If the territory in question is yourself, your temple, your body, your soul, your mind, your spirit that dwells within you, it needs protection. It needs very conscious, deliberate efforts to keep itself safe, right? But that doesn't have to come at the expense of doing nothing and staying hidden, right? Time for bravery, a time, I forget what the words used were, but they sounded all very triumphant, very high in stamina, like you can do this for a while. Bravery, courage. Also, thank you, Mario. We'll get you on the queue. This card states that you are being called to protect your energy and call back your power. And at the end, I can teach you a little trick on how to do that, a little sentence that I like to say. May all of the lost pieces return home to you now. Take a look at who and what drains your energy. Do not keep your tabs open. Shut down energetically each and every night, meaning don't fester things as you're falling asleep. Take a very proactive approach in clearing all of that away before you put yourself to rest. Give yourself the permission to let go of certain things from the day before you go to bed, before you allow your body to reset. Very important. Energetic cords are formed between people, places, objects, and events. So pretty much anything can create an energetic cord between it and you. So with that in mind, it's very important to keep checking in, checking what attachments you still have that may no longer serve you. Your energy and energetic space are sacred, so treat them as such. Keeping your energy clear takes work. And as we go through life, we can give away our power. So, it is also important that we call it back by cutting energetic cords or doing a form of healing known as soul retrieval. Can you think of a traumatic event, relationship, or soul memory that you are being called to call your power back from? Check in to your body now and see which chakra feels like it needs a little bit of an energetic cleanup. Where in your body feels like it might have strings attached, blockages present that don't need to be there anymore. We have a Work Your Light activation that I would love to read for you, and the instructions say to hold the card close to your chest. So I'll go ahead and do that for you. And if you could repeat after me, that would be great. It also says to hold this card specifically on the chakra that needs cleaning. So I'll just gently scan it down. We'll cover all the bases today. And this states as follows: I call back any lost soul fragments, power, or light now. Any vows, soul contracts, hexes, or programs from the past or present, from this life or others, that are not in the highest good of all, I relinquish now. Any power or light that I have willingly or unwillingly given away or had taken from me, I call back now. Any cords or attachments from the life of others, I release now for the highest good of all. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Your affirmation today is: I have the power to change my life by changing my thoughts And when I change my thoughts, the world around me changes. I would encourage you to screenshot this, keep it close, say it often, and look at that beautiful rainbow butterfly. I loved this affirmation for you because I just had this feeling that something like that would need to be said. And after calling your energy back to you, I think this is a wonderful reminder of the power that you do hold as an individual. And sheerly by changing your thoughts alone, you can in fact change the entire world around you. So keep this in mind as we move forward to the 2 cards that I picked out for you. And those are the Ace of Cups and Align Your Life. Something about this image, the fractured coming back to the whole. I didn't even really think about having a correlation with this, calling your energy back to you, but this is an exact visual representation of all of those pieces realigning, completing the whole picture yet again. The Ace of Cups, I have a feeling, is exactly what you're gonna need to hear to give you some direction moving forward as of what to do next. And then we will read Align Your Life. And we'll see how it goes. I think that might be a train, a car, I can't tell. No matter, as long as it doesn't screech or squeal, I'll be a happy camper. Here is the Ace of Cups for you. I'm just going to read this because it's at the top of the page. The Suit of Cups, sometimes called chalices or hearts, is all about the element of water. So the first card that I had from this deck, remember, was also a cup, but it was in reversed. And it almost said to stop the flow that's been going. And you know why? It's because sometimes, in order for things to truly have the opportunity to flow in a different direction, we have to again, mindfully and intentionally build a little bit of a dam on the previous flow and the direction of it so that the stream has the ability to redirect itself. Water is very tenacious. It will find a new path, always. However, it will also seek out the original route beforehand, no matter what. So if there's still an opportunity for things to flow the way they've been going, if there's no dam, no wall to stop the water, it has no choice but to continue running where it's already been. So you have to make sure you put up a proper set of boundaries, your dam, your wall, and then cause the water, the flow, to naturally move itself and shift into a different direction that I'm sure we can all agree is for the better than the first one. So, with that being said, think flow, our emotions, our spiritual needs, our psychic adventures. Cups encompass our relationships with our soul. And the other one said, it's time to take a long look at your soul and kind of revisit what it needs. Part of which, as we've already described, is because there's probably still attachments and cords to certain traumas and events that need to be cut. They need to be removed. They're part of why the water is continuing to flow in the same direction that it always has. In order to build the dam, part of that needs to come from cutting the cords, cutting the ties to the previous stream of water. The Ace of Cups is the very gift of life, a new beginning, with water representing how we are connected to everything around us, with the greatest abundance symbolizing that of the ocean right behind the kitty. The Ace always brings us the representative element in its purest form. Upright, this card says, your bowl spilleth over. New beginnings take center stage, and while this can serve you just as well in your day-to-day life, its true calling is in matters of the heart. The water lilies in the background symbolize good things coming from dark growth. Let me say that one more time. The water lilies in the background symbolize good things coming from dark growth. Think good thoughts, big love, healing, and spiritual growth. Protecting yourself, cutting the cords, shifting the energy will empower you and give you so much strength to help with the courage needed during this time. Remember if that was this card or what. But again, a lot of these cards are saying it's time to guard your heart. It's time to guard your soul. It's time to take a really hard, long look at everything and everyone that you have ever attached yourself to. How those attachments are still impacting you, and which ones very obviously need to go. They don't serve you anymore, and on top of that, they're causing the flow of your life, your energy, to go in a very different direction than what you feel is truly right for you, of the highest good for not only you, but for everyone involved. Because the reality of this is, the highest good for your life is naturally the highest good for everyone else. What is in all of our highest good, the best purpose for everyone, is for us to know and love ourselves so deeply that we give ourselves the utmost permission and confidence in doing so, of being our true self, our most authentic self. That helps us show up to the world just as we are meant to. It helps the other people around us who are meant to be inspired by that see our light shining, see us brightly in the world, attract themselves to us even easier than before. And thus, it is for the highest good of them, it's for the highest good of you, and it is of the highest good even to the people who are going to be triggered, who are going to get sad by the presence you decide to exude, because that's part of their path too. having that resistance, having that trigger, having that feeling of discordance with whatever resonance you're deciding is right for you, that you're amplifying. Some frequencies will not match those of others, and if they're currently in your life, the sooner that you can understand where your resonances maybe don't align, the easier it will be for all of you to shift yourself into better harmony with those around you, even if it's not together specifically. Again, all of these cards point to a lot of personal growth, a lot of personal realigning, reconfiguring of maybe things that you have held very fast and strong to for a long time because you didn't know anything else. You didn't know any other way. That's how you've kind of raised yourself to learn how to be through trauma, through survival. And this card is affirming there's a part of your life right now that is allowing you a safe enough space where you can really dig deep, dive in, and make those changes that are going to be necessary for you to move forward again in the direction that you really would like the flow to be heading towards. So, because there is this safe environment that is still going to require bravery, courage, of course, going and dealing with your trauma is going to be difficult. It's going to bring things to the surface that you've been burying down for a long time on purpose. And that's going to be hard, but the greater purpose of it, the realigning of yourself, will be so worth it. It will be the utmost priority to you, as it should be, because again, as just stated, you can't show up as your best self for anyone else if you're not showing up as your best self for you. This is the last card of your reading, and I thank you very much for allowing me to do the first reading. I don't know if this is your first reading ever or just your first reading with me, but I appreciate your trust, and I hope that we can follow all of those very deep things up with something a bit more conclusive. This says, and it's kind of piggybacking pretty closely onto the protection card. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings, which basically means a cycle. We do things cyclically. Once it happens, it probably will happen again. You'll probably have the opportunity to relearn a similar lesson, but with better knowledge on how to deal with it, right? So, we are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of our only certainties in life. It's one of my favorite sayings. Change is the only constant, because it's so true. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. And I think that's what's happening right now. You mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure those exact words in the chat, that you feel stuck, a little lost. This might be why. You're resisting part of your cycle, and in the cycle there is letting go of things that just don't fit in the next rotation. It doesn't make sense for them to continue being part of the cycle. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade or this illusion than it is to embrace who we truly are. Kind of like what I was saying just a moment ago. Being your authentic self is the best thing you can do for anyone, even if it ruffles their feathers just a little bit. To surrender to how we have changed and align our life to that way of being. Life will change as you do. So make sure that the changes that you're making for yourselves are what you want, because life will always adapt. If you pulled this card, you are really being called to let go of who you once were, or the things that you once defined yourself by. The job, the relationship, and the mask that you wore. It's time to embrace who you truly are now. Not who you thought you would become, not who you think you used to be. No, none of that matters anymore. This is a fresh chance, a fresh start. And guess what? You can start building a new version, and if you don't like it, you can start again. There is no shortage of do-overs, of restarts, of resetting, but in general, right now, there needs to be a major upheaval of a lot of the aspects of yourself that I think you know don't align anymore with who you're trying to become, with who you would like to see yourself become. There's definitely things that contradict with that person, and they're still very actively a part of your identity, your sense of self. And those are the first things that need to go. Bye. We don't need them anymore. This is your chance to courageously, we have courage yet again from a completely different deck. So this is all to say it's not going to be easy, and it's going to take some bravery. Okay, but to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity. Remember, part of us being here on earth is inspiring the people around us by being ourselves, by being so naturally and authentically ourselves that it just coincidentally inspires other people. Okay? This is the time to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. I always say, be weird. Find what makes you weird and embrace it, amplify it. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all of the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. Now, today, not yesterday, not a week ago, not 2 months ago. Now, today, with everything in consideration that has happened, that you want to have happen, now is the time. The inquiry of this card is, what in your life is not aligned or needs to change? I will give you all of these, and you can take a screenshot. I think I already gave this to you to take a screenshot. I'll give you these two to take a screenshot. And then these three. Just so you can remember. I need to burp, and I'm not going to do it on the mic, so I'm going to mute you for a sec, because I'm a lady. I don't know if you heard that, but it was really quiet. It literally was like, "Mm." It was so quiet. It honestly would have been funnier if I just let you listen. But whatever. Thank you for your reading, Charlie. That was a very full, encompassing set of dialogue from the cards. I really appreciate them for helping me out with that one. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you, Mark. Let me say that too. For those of you who are observing it today, hope you had a good Yom Kippur. I forgot to say anything about that because, you know, I'm really bad with universal holidays, different religious holidays that I'm not actively a part of. I don't adhere to any religion, if that isn't obvious. I don't practice any religious doctrines or teachings. That's not to say I don't believe in anything, but just haven't found any religion that quite encompasses exactly what I feel and think to a T. So I'm sorry if I forget to acknowledge your holiday. And please remind me if it's an important day for you, like Ramadan or Yom Kippur. Just quietly in the chat say, hey, I'm celebrating this today. And I'll probably feel really bad. And then I'll say something like I just did. The last thing I want to do is make people feel left out. I don't want to feel left out, and I don't want to make you feel left out. So just remind me, and I'll probably say something. That was really good. My stomach grumbled a little bit towards the end, but that was a phenomenal reading, Charlie. Thank you so much. We are moving on to Mario. And let me check and see if there is a question attached to this. Yes. Let's see. Ooh, the fairy deck. Okay. This question says, lately, I've been feeling the pull to retreat, as if some quiet current is asking me to soften my presence, to listen more than speak, to be the echo rather than the voice. In a world that often equates visibility with vitality, I wonder if this instinct to step back is a form of sacred listening, a recalibration towards something truer. Is this quieting a needed pause to reconnect with myself? What a beautiful question. And like the wording of it in general, just phenomenal. Starbucks time or no? I think I'm gonna hold off just for now, because I feel okay. I feel a little more awake than I did before, just like a little bit. I could definitely use some water. I don't have any in here. Almost 2 years. Any videos coming soon? Yes. I will have a video out very, very shortly. I'm filming probably tomorrow and then editing Saturday. So Sunday the 5th is probably when it will be released. And then I think I'll try to put another one out. We'll see. if I'm really quick with it, I might do a video on the 4th and then another one on the 10th, because I would love to release something on 10/10. And then I'm not sure about the next weekend. I'm gonna have to see. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see what happens the weekend after that. But I'm for sure gonna try and get a video out both on this weekend's schedule, sometime between the 3rd and the 5th, and then another on the 10th, because I like the date. That sounds just a little bit complicated, but I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind. All right. Shall we get started? I feel like all of the decks kind of match in one way or another. My core set actually matches this really well, don't you think? I feel like this book is fitting for my outfit today. Who's Imogen Poot? An actor? Well, now I'm curious. You said my nose looks like hers from the side? It's very specific. Okay, wait. Okay, I see this one. I can see this one. I can see this one more, and especially this. I can see why. She's British. No wonder I never heard of her. Wait, but I've definitely seen her. She looks really familiar. Like, really familiar. What was she? Why does she remind me so much of, like, Cassie from Skins? I know this isn't her. TV shows. Yeah, I've never really seen any of these movies. I think I've seen 28 Weeks Later. I've seen Vivarium. I've probably seen her in a movie or two. Oh, and she was in V for Vendetta. Okay. I see, I see. So interesting. Well, maybe one day people will tell a random girl on her live stream, hey, you look like this American actress, Cherie. Have you ever heard of her? Your nose looks just like hers from the side profile. am shuffling these cards for you. I also have a hair in my nose. John, thank you. Thank you for making our slightly small and slow stream a little more lively. Congrats on anyone that got one of those 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. That makes me happy. Thank you. Will you guys do me a favor before it gets too dark outside? Can we do some screenshots of this outfit? Because I don't have any photos taken of this. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I get off the live stream, I'm changing. So, can we take some commemorative screenshots really quick? And then I'll put everything back on the board. And we will get Mario's reading done. And also, if you participate in these screenshots, could you post them in the Discord, please, so I can save them easily? Thank you in advance. I guess I'll... You know what would also be really awesome? Is if we edited my background to be like a castle. I can do it later. But if anyone's really creative and great at Photoshop, I would love to not be sitting on a bed. Oh, Vivian is laying on the beanbag and she's so cute. Okay, you can take a break, that's fine. No worries. Okay, let me scoot back a little and move this down. Just slightly. And let me get myself in a place where you can see my dress. My beautiful dress. It's so beautiful, this dress. So beautiful. It's so hard to get everything in the frame. My camera's not far enough away. Okay, I'm coming closer. It's too hard back there. Can we focus? Thank you. Okay, I think that's good. I will probably be putting this back on for a roleplay eventually, but it's not gonna happen tonight. I can already feel that I need to just relax tonight after the stream, which I'm excited for. I'm probably gonna play some video games, and by video games I mean one game in particular. You know the one. You know the one. Alright. Let me get this back on the screen. It's your time. I think I shuffled these a few times, but I'm just gonna shuffle them one more. Just to be so safe. Deck number 1. Deck number 2. We're gonna pull you, I think, 4 cards total from this deck today. But we can also do as many as you feel inclined. Also, yes, Totoro is back there. Good eye. Thank you for noticing. 1, 2. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards here. You can pick as many as you feel inclined. I will be having you pick from a second deck, so just take your time. No rush. What did you say you wanted photoshopped in the background of the screenshot? Something magical. A castle, a dragon, ancient Greece, water baths, a plate of fruit, a cornucopia, literally anything that fits the theme of this outfit a little bit more than my bedroom does. Beans, magic beans, sure. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. I think you just pulled the most ironic card that you could have possibly pulled. Alright. 1. This is your second pull. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Before we go farther, I need to say something really important. The reason I said Photoshop and not generate is because, and please stop if you've already started. Stop. The one thing I don't want you to do with these screenshots is run them through an AI generation software. Please don't put my images in the AI. Please don't use my likeness in AI learning. Please don't do it. I do not give permission for that. If you're gonna do any editing, just do it on Photoshop or on Procreate or on any sort of software that takes manual effort. No AI. If you post an AI edit, I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna do this across the screen. I'm gonna go, shame, shame. That's what I'm gonna do. No AI. I just needed to say that. I'm sure most of you assumed when I said Photoshop, I meant Photoshop. But for the one little person out there that's just like, who even uses Photoshop? I'm just gonna AI generate it. No, you're not. You're not, because I said that I don't want my likeness to be used for AI learning, and you're gonna respect that. I already have only so many permissions that I can have the liberty to take or give. You know, YouTube already kind of pulled the rug under us, so please don't do it. IA or AI, whatever it's called, they are framing me. You didn't say the magic word. I absolutely said please. I was gonna try and think of a funny other word, but I don't have one, so please don't do it. I will be very sad. That's the price of being famous, Miss Cherie. No, it's not. It is not. There does not need to be a normalization of people doing whatever they want with your likeness just because you're famous. And I'm going to be as loud of an advocate of that not being normalized as I possibly can. It's not normal. And it should not be normal. And it should not at all be expected. Anyways, we have, I think I said 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards here. Mario's probably seething right now because I'm making him wait, and I'm very sorry, Mario. Please be patient. However many cards you would like. It was an important PSA, and I know you can respect that. Four only. Okay. I love that out of this whole entire deck, there's so many cards in here. We always pull similar ones. I shuffle this thing. I don't know. This is the one that made me laugh. Is it your time to be quiet? We also have desire and time to tinker. So let's read the 3 of these and see what they have in common. Where is my booklet? It's in here. Oh, I didn't intuitively pull you an affirmation card because I remember you saying you don't want those. But do you want one? I like them. I have no ill energy against the cards. You want one? Good choice. Good choice. The train is passing. Just beware. I'm gonna turn you down a little bit. Well, with that in mind, I will go ahead and pick you a card. January Ember Flames. I did my own hair, and it took me probably like 5-10 minutes maybe. Also, I'm waiting for this train to pass. Hold on. It's past. It is past. But yes, I did my own hair. I would be more than happy to do a tutorial someday. Your affirmation card is really nice. I like it. And funny enough, all three of these cards were in pages right after another, which I know you saw. I pulled them from 2 different decks, so it's very coincidental that you picked 3 cards that are all in a row in the booklet. Excuse me. Are we ready for Say It Out Loud? Let me get the card. Magic stream indeed. Alright, so I don't know how to say this. Scandinavian folklore water spirits who dwell near lakes and rivers, where they have been known to lure people into the water to their deaths. My. These shapeshifters usually take the form of humans, but have also been known to appear as horses, beckoning people onto their backs before riding into the water. Not all accounts of these water sprites are so vicious. Some portray the spirit in the form of a peaceful man playing the violin near a waterfall. If you find yourself tricked, the way to free yourself is by saying their name. When this card is drawn, it is possible that there is something you are afraid of or that's hanging over you. Thank you for the gifted sub. Dragging you down, this thing that's hanging over you, is dragging you down into the depths of despair. The pit of despair. Where you feel like you are drowning. I'm not sure if you relate to that or not. But whatever this may be, this thing, say it out loud. Or better yet, write it down. Vocalizing your fears is part of the process of confronting them. Sometimes it's all that's needed in order to make a situation seem manageable. So sometimes the only difference between being overwhelmed and not being overwhelmed is by speaking about it out loud. This desire Undine is a figure of European myth. Again, another water nymph with a beautiful singing voice who becomes human after she falls in love. You may be familiar with her story, The Little Mermaid, which was based on this tale. The legend has evolved over the years, but one basic tenet has remained the same. If the man who Undine loves is unfaithful to her, he dies. When this card is drawn, you may want to examine your desires, whether they're romantic or related to career, creativity, or something else. What do you want right now, and why? Consider if what you want is truly what would be good for you at this moment. Sometimes our desires reveal authentic needs, and other times they are based in jealousy, peer pressure, and even selfishness. Question your desires, and if it's really what you want, then go for it. Tinkerbell might just be the most popular fairy of all time, thanks to the Disney animated classic based on the original story Peter Pan. She is named after the sound that she made, like tinkering bells, and after her role of fixing pots and kettles. Adored for her feisty personality, Tinkerbell is emotional and can act childish at times, drawn by the seat of her whims. She is Peter Pan's companion on his adventures in Neverland. When this card is drawn, lean into innocence and take a child's frame of mind. Embrace the idea that you can do or be anything because you have all the time in the world. Because it's true. Like the children in Neverland, there are parts of us that remain young forever. What impossible things will you believe in today? And what do you think your affirmation says? And what color of butterfly are you intuitively sensing on this card? I'm very curious and I would like to test your intuition. I'll give you a hint. It's namely 2 colors of this butterfly, and they might not be what you would expect. Again, this is for Mario, so I'm waiting for him to answer. Red, interesting. It's actually blue and brown. And this says, I am the creator of my own life experience, and I accept this present moment as my own creation. I am the creator of my own life experience. Sorry. And I accept this present moment as my own creation. This card feels like a little bit of radical responsibility, where you acknowledge that life is directly related to how you show up into it, and therefore, whatever the present moment may be, taking responsibility for it being partially your creation from your choices and your doings. What a really interesting set of cards for you. Your original question, I don't necessarily feel was properly answered by these, but I feel like there was an answer underlying some of the other things that were said. I think directly you could take this card as the answer, and it said, make sure that this is really good for you right now. And if you take a good, hard, long, introspective look at things and you decide, yeah, it is what I want, then go for it. Do it. Take the silence, take the space. But if you come to the conclusion that, I actually don't think that's what's right for me right now, don't do it. Don't. Regardless, your life is your creation. And it sounds like taking responsibility for that sooner rather than later will do you well. Very well. I think that's the last reading in our queue. Actually, just kidding. I remember someone on YouTube, Joshua Valadez. I'm assuming you sent the $20 super chat because you would like to do a reading. Says you've never gotten one, so I'm excited. Also, Manny, thank you for that super chat. And to answer your question, yes, I absolutely have felt like that before. And I am going to send you a link to one of my videos. Actually, a few of them, perhaps. Let me see. Where is the one I'm talking about? This one. And also where is this video? There we go. These two videos, I feel like, are very good for how you're feeling right now. I have other ones that could also be good, but I think those two specifically make the most sense right now. I'm sorry to hear that you're not loving life at this moment, and I completely understand. Thank you for being here with us, and do what you need to do in order to try and continue getting some help, because I promise it's worth it, and saying something is the first step. Thank you, October 33rd. I wish you were in YouTube, because that is where this person is. Feel free to pop over there if you have an account and send them some nice messages. Okay, Joshua, would you like just kind of a general reading? We can totally do that. And also let us know if you have any choice of cards or anything like that. It's so hard to get a photo of my hair. It's definitely my favorite part of the look, though. I think this is pretty good. That one's pretty good too. Oh. I like this. It's just a necklace, but I think it looks nice. You'll get it, just be patient, okay? I just noticed that the screenshot for the stream is, maybe it's just on my end, but it looks kind of dark. So I was like, I wonder if my selfie would look any better in lighting. It doesn't really. It's very dark. Don't worry, I can take a mean screenshot. Feel free. Sometimes the metal on this corset sounds like it's cracking and breaking. Is this for a reading? Yay! Maybe we can go ahead and close them. What stone is on the necklace? It is a... Rob, help me out. Argentinian meteorite? And then the other one was tektite from something. Your row ruckus on YouTube. Gotcha. Well, we are just waiting for Joshua to decide if there's any specific cards he would like. And we will just do a general reading. In general reading. We also just got a community reading donated by John. So if anyone would like to take that, we can also save it for next week. Let me know. And if you would like to take it, please prepare a question or any specific cards that you would like, any deck you would like to be used, and we will get you into the considerations list. No specific cards. All right, let me go to your profile really quick and get a reading on you intuitively as to which cards I would like to use. Go to channel. Okay. Okay. I'm very curious. No, you're totally fine. Don't be sorry. I think just as curious as you are as to how this will be received by you. I would like you to do something before we even begin. I would like you to remind yourself it's not serious. It doesn't need to be serious. Anything that happens or is said here, take it with a grain of salt. You don't need to cling onto it all as the truth. I would also encourage you not to just dismiss it all as silly hoopla. There's gonna be a slight little grain of truth in there that will be what you need to hear right now. Most likely, more than one thing, but there will be at least one part of this reading that probably will be something that hits home a little bit. So just try and stay open. Keep yourself, in a nice place of like, whatever happens, happens. That kind of atmosphere. Try not to be too judgmental, if anything, or have crazy expectations. Just let it unfold. Get what you can out of it, and be grateful for whatever else is there. Here we go. How did you learn to read the future? That's actually not at all what I'm doing, believe it or not. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what I'm gonna have happen tomorrow. Neither do most of us. And the people who do, they're taking their best guess. Because everything always changes. Remember, change is the only constant. The only constant that we can count on is the fact that everything is always changing. And therefore, there's no real way to predict the future. And most truly spiritual, intuitive people will say the exact same thing. There's no real way to predict the future definitively, and anyone who says they can, I digress. All I'm doing here is using the cards as a way to kind of reflect certain things back to you. With that being said, there is absolutely an art of intuitive pulling with these. You do some of the work and I do some of the work. I have you pull the cards, because chances are, if something's really standing out to you, it's the card you need to choose. Are the cards you think are standing out the same as the ones I think are standing out? No, they're not always. And that's why I don't like to always pick cards for people. However, I sometimes intuitively can just feel when I need to pick the cards, because it needs to happen that way. And as such, I will trust my intuition to pick cards on behalf of the other person. But again, I always say, take it with a grain of salt. It's not serious. It's certainly not a life sentence, whatever says on the cards. Gabriel, is this another community reading, or would you like a reading for yourself? Regardless, yeah, that's kind of the general feeling of what's happening here. It's certainly not fortune telling, because I can't tell you your fortune. I can't tell you what's gonna happen in the future, and I don't think anyone can. And I think that's okay. May God protect me. I'm always protected by God. Always have been. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Let's see. Well, we're definitely going to pull you an affirmation card. So let me shuffle the ones we've already pulled today back in. And I think I'm almost, and this is just the girl in me, but because from your profile outwardly you look very big and strong and very masculine, I almost want to side towards some of my more feminine decks just because. Like this one, for instance. It's got a lot of very soft language, which is something I wanted to point out that I didn't really notice until today. Eugene Fletcher, the author of this deck, is a black man, and I don't think I've seen that in any of my other decks. Every author of these is a white person, and most of which are females. So I just thought that was really cool, and something I wanted to point out, that it was a man, and specifically a black man. Thought that was awesome, and I didn't know that when I got this deck, so that made me really happy, actually. And I would encourage people to, when they're looking into tarot cards, try and find small artists. There's a ton of small artists to support, if you didn't already know. Now you do. Hand-drawn tarot cards. Very, very cool. And should definitely be more popular than they are. So anyway, we're gonna pull you one of these affirmation cards. I'm gonna pull you something from here. And then I'll see if I need anything else after that. But I don't know if I will. I think this might be all-encompassing. Good night. Thanks for being here for 2.5 hours. I hope you can get some good sleep. I agree, Mark. Sometimes the streams they just go like that. Emmanuel, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I see you have a check mark. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're a verified YouTube person? Let me go look. Let me just take a little detour. You are. We have the exact same amount of subscribers. Stop it. You're a composer. Ooh. How sweet is that? Well, I'm gonna say this just because I don't know if I'll ever have another opportunity to. If you ever would like to work with a female artist on some ethereal vocals for the background of your compositions, I would love to work with you on that. I would love nothing more than to be on the next equivalent of Interstellar. Excuse me. It's one of my favorite films. So just keep me in mind as a human. The Variety said, and here I am, unable to even compose myself. How poetic. I love that. Alright, Joshua, I'm shuffling this deck for you. And I'm gonna pull this one out, because it's definitely calling my name, and therefore your name. Also, what was that just now? Something just popped up on the screen. Well, whatever that was. Oh, Harvey, I think. Happy 2 months. You've never seen Interstellar. You should definitely watch it. You don't have to. You could definitely watch it. keep missing your streams. I need a reading from you, I feel. Well, you're in luck. We actually have a community reading available right now if you would like it. Joshua, let me ask you a question before I get started. Are you feeling inclined to pick the cards for yourself tonight, or would you like me to do the picking? Also, Gabriel, I can't remember if you responded to my question. Kill Bill is a must-watch. Are those tarot cards? They are. They are indeed. I can pick. Ooh la la. Okay. We are doing a general reading for Joshua. Okay. Interesting, interesting. That's so funny. Okay. Sorry, I'm new here. What's the difference between a regular reading and a community one? A regular reading is just a reading someone paid for themselves. They usually have a set question, or if they don't, they get to choose whatever they would like to ask about, even if it's just a general reading like the one we're doing now. Community readings have been donated on behalf of somebody else, and they're usually used for someone who either can't afford a reading, maybe isn't quite comfortable with the idea of purchasing one for themselves, but they have something they really want to ask and they really want answers for. And thus, we give them an opportunity to have a reading donated from the community. Yeah. Alright, I have pulled 3 cards. I partially pulled the 3rd card because I was like, I don't know. But again, I already prefaced this with staying open, so I'm hoping that you will listen to that. Ooh, okay. I just pulled your affirmation card, and I'm happy to say it's one that we have not gotten yet. And I also will say there seems to be a very common color theme with these. I'm gonna cover the answer, but look at the colors of these cards. Purple, pink, and blue. So pretty. Alright. We are starting from the Work Your Light deck. And the first card that I pulled is Inner Temple. Devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. Then we have, which is why I kind of laughed, because I said I was feeling called to the feminine for some reason. We have Sisterhood of the Rose, which basically signifies beauty and devotion. Priestess, mystic, teacher, and if it couldn't get any more literal, we have the actual priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead? And then we of course have your affirmation. So I will get started with Inner Temple. I usually like to read the cards in the order that they were pulled. I don't know why, I just do. And this is Inner Temple, page 70. Here we have a calling to you to be a devoted student and to tune in to your heart, to incorporate true devotion into your life. You could be being called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or chanting practice, or to show up to your soul with rhythm, which basically in my mind means moving away from living life on autopilot and inviting yourself into the dance that is all living things. To develop a daily practice where you fill up your well, as in a water well, and spend time with your soul. All of the answers to all of the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart. But you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and that is true for most of us. We have such busy days, busy lives. It's hard to take a moment to just be with ourselves. So, the more time that you spend with your soul and show up to it, naturally, the more clearly it will be able to guide you. We are here on this earth to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for a soul to learn. As you are being called, as such, you are being called to go deeper into your soul growth, or to increase your devotion by being a student of a lineage or a spiritual teacher. If you have already been a committed student, then you are being commended for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time you spend in devotion is priceless. If you are questioning your career or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus towards devotion and this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. May my life be one big, moving prayer. Your work, your light action is to develop a daily devotional practice. So incorporating something into your day-to-day routine that has no other purpose other than checking in with yourself internally and finding a moment of stillness and silence to actually hear the response to those check-in questions. How am I doing? Well, it doesn't matter because I've got to get to work. How am I feeling right now? Well, it doesn't matter because I have to make dinner. Taking a second to actually hear, how am I doing right now? Oh, I'm actually feeling really burnt out lately. How am I feeling today? Oh, now that I've taken a moment of silence and given myself some extra thinking time, I actually have some extra energy. maybe today I could finally do XYZ that I've always been wanting to, but I just haven't had the time or the energy. But you know what? Checking in with myself, I think today I could make it work. You know what I mean? We are going to move towards the Sisterhood of the Rose, page 78, and then follow up with Priestess on page 46. 78, 46. Sisterhood of the Rose, which again does not mean you have to be a sister, says the Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and sowing the seeds of light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. And again, this card that we just read put its entire emphasis on devotion. So, part of the daily practice, on top of it being just for you, is also for you to even further show up as an example, because clearly both this and the priestess being present here, there is an aspect of you being a leader in the spaces around you. And part of being the leader that you're being asked to be is spreading the beauty, the creativity that you are devoting yourself to uncovering inside. Spreading it outwardly as well as internally discovering it. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all of life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, to hear the whispers of Mother Earth. You are being called to spend more time in nature, as all of the ancient secrets live there. Mother Earth is constantly whispering. Spend time admiring her creations, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and to contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress to picking out flowers for your home. Every time that you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little bit more and shift in vibration, and one that can be felt. So let me reread that because I butchered the sentence a little bit. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more, and that shift in vibration is one that can be felt. The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together in order to lead. And, in fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who has never made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward to. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is in your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your people is to look in the mirror. If you feel called to lead, chances are it is because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were and perhaps still are. And you might only be one step behind you. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the troughs. You don't need to know the way. Just believe that there might be a different one. Your people are waiting for you, so step forward so that they can find you. How are you being called to step up and lead? And how can you be the leader that you wish you had? Your affirmation says, I am a magnet for positive experiences that effortlessly flow into my life, bringing me endless joy and fulfillment. I am a magnet for positive experiences that effortlessly flow into my life, bringing me endless joy and fulfillment. I would encourage you to screenshot this. And I have to say, my personal advice after hearing all of that is I think it would be a phenomenal daily devotional practice to go on a walk every single day. Even if you have to wake up just slightly earlier or go to bed just slightly later or move some things around in your day-to-day schedule, I think a phenomenal thing to do every single day would be to get outside, go on a walk with the sheer intention of finding beautiful things to admire and to be grateful for. Sounds like I need to move back to Colorado, get back into nature. I loved living in Breckenridge and I miss it every day. Let me challenge you even further. Find beauty exactly where you are. Challenge yourself, which of course it won't be exactly the same as Colorado. And I don't know where you are exactly, but I'm imagining in my mind walking down a neighborhood in like LA. It's a lot of concrete, it's a lot of buildings, it's a lot of stuff that most people wouldn't find beautiful, and yet, to the eyes of anyone who is choosing to see beauty everywhere, it is full of different pockets and pictures that are absolutely worth capturing. Like I said, if you have the eye of the beholder. So I think a good thing to train within yourself, and using these daily walks as a catalyst to doing this, is to try to challenge your eye, the beholder within you, to find even more beauty than might be your base level of understanding or of, just like perception. Trying to open yourself up the same way you did to this reading, to some of the more hidden gems that are always around you, ever present, and just maybe, a little less universally desirable in terms of beauty and specter and wonder. I know for a fact, as someone who has done this and trained myself to find pretty things everywhere, art everywhere, you'll find it, and you'll find it so frequently, it will change the way that you view your surrounding area. Even if you can't find anything at all on your walk this one day or another that you find beautiful, desirable enough to capture, maybe at the beginning you can actually take photos to commemorate things that you really found beautiful. But let's say you didn't see anything this day. Guess what? It might be time for a new path. Maybe you need to start walking the road less traveled, because chances are there's been more opportunity for things to grow, to flourish, a flower to bloom amidst the concrete, because no one's walked there in a while to step on it. You never know until you go. That's my advice, and I think it's a good place to start, because a lot of these said something very similar, and I feel like the overall message of them is that you're being called to lead, but from a place of like an inner understanding that you can only find for yourself. You absolutely have a place in other people's lives and in changing them for the good, but that has to first come from an inner working and understanding that you cultivate and develop on your own time, in your own devotional practice, daily ritual for yourself and only yourself. I'm not sure if you're in a position of authority, if you're part of a team, part of a group, but I do think there's something to be said about internally making very small shifts in the way you perceive the world, and then letting those shifts naturally become apparent to the people around you, just in the different ways you speak, think, act, perceive. I think it will be really nice, and I think everyone around you will really enjoy it, and then they'll probably want to start doing it too. Thank you for a first reading. I appreciate the trust always that takes. I'm I'm in a very specific type of a leader role, actually. I have other intuitive things I'm picking up on, but for safety reasons, for myself especially, I'm not gonna directly like pinpoint them. But I will say I'm getting this feeling that you're maybe involved in an organized system. Let's just say that. An organized system that is maybe a little strict. And I'm sure you'll know what I'm referencing if I'm correct. It's a very specific structure, a very specific system. But yeah, I think that's an especially interesting position to be in for this topic specifically. And I honestly would implore you even further to try your best to incorporate this even there, and especially there. Kind of blooming the rose from the inside out, if you will, instead of trying to bring the rose from the outside and convince everyone how beautiful it is. Becoming the rose that unfolds in the midst of everything, to the point where people can't stop paying attention to how beautiful it is, this rose that's unfolding, if that makes sense. I think that's the safest strategy and the most impactful one for the people around you. And Twitch chat, you need to stop right now. Stop. All of you guys, stop it. I love you, and I love that you're thinking big thoughts, but you gotta remember this is somewhere people come to relax, and it's not relaxing. I'm seeing it in the corner of my eye, and it's stressing me out, so I can only imagine how people in the chat feel. And I'm gonna ban people lickety split, and you know who you are, so you gotta stop, okay? Please stop. Will you check the Discord briefly when you get a chance and tell me if you have any other suggestions for your screenshot? I posted it in general. Yes, boss. Aye, Captain. I'm excited. Ooh. What I would do if I were editing this, my only suggestion would be to try and blend the lighting between the background and the foreground photo of me, just making it a little bit more even. And then I personally add a little bit of noise onto my edits whenever I do stuff like that, just to kind of like bring the whole image into cohesion visually. Those are my suggestions. But the background edit itself is exactly what I was thinking. I love it. All right. Oh, Saikato. Wait. I need to roll back just slightly. Yes, I agree. The next version of the photo will need to go in a different channel, either art, maybe screenshots. I would say art, but it's okay that it was in general. It was a little easier for me to access. I think that was the point. We can always delete it. The rules are for everyone. The strictness of adhering to them is also for everyone. But guess what? I'm the top boss dog. Whew. And if I say it's okay in general, then it's okay. And I think this one's okay for now at least, but in general, in the general chat, we try to keep it clear of most things that are extra, that could fit into a different category, because it's where I make my announcements in the general, and so it's just easier for people to find stuff. Excuse me. Okay, what I wanted to ask, and I keep missing the response, and please forgive me. Gabriel, are we doing a reading for you, or is your reading a community reading? I feel like a dog when they beg for their food. You know what I'm talking about? I love when they do that, and they're like, they're so funny. Dogs are so silly. Oh, we can do one next week. It would be my first one. Okay. You just donated $50, I think? Unless I'm thinking of the wrong person. But I'm pretty sure you donated $50 after we closed the readings, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I'm like, maybe I'm just crazy. More crazy than I already suspected. Maybe I'm just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, well, shucks. Variety. Dang, you've only been following since this year. I don't know why I thought you were here for so much longer. Come back next week on Thursday if you can. I would love to give you a reading next week. Could I put a progress sketch of an original character of mine for people's opinions and also advice in your art Discord channel? Yes, you can. The art channel is open for all art. All art. Joshua, I don't know if you've left or if you're still here, but final thank you for your reading. I'm excited to hear eventually in the future, if you decide to come back, how it went, how your daily devotional practice ends up impacting your life. I was also gonna say, I have this funny feeling that if you go on these daily walks, you're gonna like eventually meet and talk to someone or multiple people on the walks that end up becoming like really impactful conversations, even if it's just like 10 minutes with a stranger. They're gonna say something to you or, you know, tell you a story that I just feel like is really gonna stick with you. So I think part of the walks as well is to literally just be like out and about and accessible to other people on the earth map, you know. It's a lot harder for people to interact with you if you're behind a wall and they can't get in. And the wall is your house, your apartment, wherever you are inside. Being out, being open while you're out, especially opening yourself up to those interactions, will probably draw them in, and I'm sure some of them will be really impactful. So just something that I got the thought of and I wanted to relay it. Thursday works out well. It's my birthday on the Friday. I love that. I love that. My birthday was this past Thursday. I've officially been 27 for 1 week. How fun. So our birthdays are like 2 weeks apart. Oh, and you're on 10/10. I had a pair of twins when I was growing up that was born on 10/10. You're very welcome. Thank you for, again, being trusting and also staying open. I can tell that you did, and it really means a lot. It helps with the readings. Saikato, are you here? And if you are, would you mind saying something for me in the chat? If you would be so kind. Long-time watcher, hello. How fun. Ooh, okay, we have a karma card question. Public. It says, what will a long-distance relationship with my girlfriend look like? Ooh. Can I ask, just out of sheer curiosity, it has nothing to do with the reading and probably won't impact it at all. Are you already long distance? Have you ever been long distance? When and why are you going long distance? Answer in your own time. I'm going to start shuffling the karma cards. And also, because this is officially the last reading of the stream, I know. I'm going to start putting the other decks away. Just getting my station nice and clean and clear. Because it feels good to have a clean space. Slam, thank you for 150 bits. And a chia. Huzzah, huzzah. Thank you, Slam. Huzzah to the tipper. I'm just gonna start saying that. Can we get a huzzah for the tipper? And that's when you guys all chat. Huzzah, huzzah. Thank you. Not currently long distance, never had a long distance relationship, and she's going long distance for work. She's a nurse, and I'm in nursing school. She's doing travel nursing, and the goal is to eventually do travel nursing together. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. My main ad-lib is huzzah. Well, you can imagine how well that worked out for me at the Renaissance Festival. The answer is very well, because everyone said huzzah. No, I put it in the wrong way. Howdy. On a 7-stream streak. Congratulations. Thank you for being here 7 days in a row. I love that. There we go. Thank you for your patience. Salsa Range said, hey, how are you? I'm pretty good. feeling a little dehydrated. But I'm good. I'm feeling good despite that. Energy-wise, I was very tired at the beginning of the stream. But I feel more energy now. Certainly enough energy to do one final reading. And that is going to be for Psychondo. We are talking about a future long-distance arrangement between themselves and their girlfriend. And we will be using our lovely karma cards. Which, guess what, you guys? What happened to the music? It should be going still. Turned it up just a little bit. What was I gonna say? The person who got me these karma cards is actually planning on visiting me this month at the end of the month. So maybe you guys will get to meet him. We've been friends since 2019. We met in Hawaii. I have so many stories that I just have like not had a good time to tell you, but one day we'll do more of a deep dive into the back lore of all these people in my life. This just popped out. I'm gonna keep it. Which I think is very interesting because it's talking about service to others, your work, which your jobs are very much in line with service to others, so. I'm going to have you pick the other two cards. You're gonna get to pick one card twice. The first from the planets deck and the second from the signs. I'm going to go ahead and fan these out for you. This is card number 1. This is card number 12. Your first choice is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Whatever card calls out to you, simply tell me the number you would like from 12 to 1, only choosing one card. Number 1, please. All right. Thank you, Kmart. I appreciate that. I remember Kmart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Trying to find the card that calls out to you the most out of 1 to 12. 1 to 12. This is for Psychic. The readings are closed for today, but if you would like one, come back next week on Thursday. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So again, this is an outcome reading in regards to how everything sits currently right now. These cards will always give the most updated answer as of right now, but it is a very big, like, preface. Where is it? In this guidebook. It's immediately in the beginning introduction. It says, I don't know where, but basically, free will, people's ability to change their minds, pick whatever they choose, it will always ultimately impact the outcome a lot more than anything these little cards are going to say. So again, this is just the outcome as everything currently stands. It's always subject to change if you make a choice or if the other person makes a choice. Or multiple choices, but as things currently stand, we have an outcome for spiritual, mental, and physical aspects of yourself. And then we will flip these over for the red side, which is action steps. What can you do? How can you make things better? Or worse. Just kidding. It's always better. We have this planet that I won't say because my chat is kindergartners in their mindset. We have a planet that I'm sure you can see by the language being chosen is a little interesting when we pull it. For example, let me just show you the difference. Okay, the sun, for instance. Creation, gaining, things brought to life, like very synonymous with the sun. We have, Jupiter, good fortune, blessings, granting of things. So this planet is a little more like, it's like the twists and the turns encompassed into a planet. It's gonna be a little weird. It's gonna be a little unusual, different, unexpected, okay? Nothing bad. Not necessarily a definite negative. It's just different, okay? Something to bear in mind. We then have Aquarius, which is also a similar energy, but with that of, as you can see, discovery, experiment, eccentricity. So this is kind of the twists and the turns, but like with excitement. Okay, so these paired together, I would actually say is exciting. It's good. And then lastly, as I already showed, we have the 6th house, which has a lot to do with work, service to others. That's why we have a lot of agricultural harvest and all of the tools needed to harvest those things. This card is all about the fruits of your labor and making sure that you're sowing ones that are good for everyone, okay? So putting these together, this is the outcome. Objectively, all I asked was for the outcome of long distance between you two. Spiritually, there's going to be an unusual example of genius in order to experiment with service to others. A spiritually unusual example of genius to experiment with service to others. I have thoughts and feelings, but I'm going to save them until the end. Mentally, there will be a different way of looking at the discoveries of what is good for us. A different way of looking at the discoveries of what is good for us. And physically, there will be an unexpected change resulting from the eccentricity of your work. So an unexpected change resulting from the eccentricity of your work. And as a travel nurse, I'm not sure what eccentricity is going to have to do with that career, but it's going to cause an unexpected change. Here's what I kind of speculate. In terms of your relationship with each other, you are more than welcome to correct me if I'm just like picking up on things that don't exist. I'm also totally projecting myself into your shoes and then kind of trying to acknowledge how I would be feeling in this. But hear me out. You both chose a career path that's very oriented around helping people and being of service to them. Granted, it's a decent paying job. I'm sure there was financial gain motivations as well. However, there is always going to be something so selfless about being a nurse. Always. It's a grueling, brutal job forever. It never necessarily gets easier because people being sick, it sucks, right? People being hurt sucks. It's very difficult mentally, emotionally for most people. And that's why it takes a very special kind of person to choose to be a nurse, let alone two people who are choosing to be nurses and then also come together outside of that in their personal lives, which I would fair to say in your personal lives, you still have a lot of overlap of nursing being present because it's both of your, common experiences for work. And it's just kind of a very immersive field as far as I'm aware. It's hard not to take it home with you. So, I'm reading this. I'm thinking about the transition of long distance from being together. I'm not sure if you guys went to the same school. I'm not sure when and how you've met in your respective career paths as nurses, travel nurses. But these unusual examples of genius spiritually, different ways of looking at the discoveries of what's good for us mentally. A lot of this speaks to me as co-collaboration between not only two people personally in the relationship, but also two professionals in the career path, with the intimacy and vulnerability of the personal relationship that's only going to provide even more of a catalyst for professional dialogue and discoveries to be made between the two of you. And one person being here and one person being there is going to automatically lend itself to different discoveries being made in any one given day, and then the opportunity to take those different discoveries collaborate on the knowledge around them, what they mean for the discoveries of what is good for us as a whole, science, you know, furthering, how do I say this? Furthering our understanding that's pre-existing of people's bodies, the way they work, how to best help them, etc. Nursing is, like everything, an ever-evolving practice. Change is the only constant, even in nursing careers. And that means every patient you both come across, every patient you both are able to treat and able to see is going to provide you with some sort of further information, some sort of further understanding of one thing or another, and you're going to be able to share and collaborate on that. And in general, spiritually and mentally, it seems for both of you, it's going to continue to lend itself to these very unusual but important discoveries. What was the other word? And genius, spiritual genius, that's like being completely in line with your intuition, completely in line with kind of just like, think about breakthrough discoveries, think about breakthrough inventions. How did they think of it? Some people would say, you know, God gave them the answer. But there is, in general, a more, you know, like surface level understanding of that, where it's just kind of like thinking about the right thing at the right time in life, in history, for it to become true and necessary and real enough to be more than just a thought, an idea, a reality, a physical reality. There is something to be said about, you know, just kind of like being consciously present about something, a concept, a theory, at the same exact time that energy is trying to like break through to reality. You just become kind of like the catalyst to bring it through, whether it's from God, source, the universe. I'm not the expert on that. All I know is that people get good ideas all the time, and part of how they get those good ideas is by thinking about things and problems and then finding solutions, even if there isn't one already in existence. So I'm really excited about the long distance, actually, because again, I feel like if anything, it will only double your opportunity to have new insights, new breakthroughs, new moments of discovery for one place or another that can then simultaneously exchange from that place to the other and back again. Do you know what I'm saying? You learn something at your practice, you tell your girlfriend, she thinks it's a really great idea or a really great discovery. She immediately goes into work the next day, implements it. Every one of her colleagues is like, that's genius. They start implementing it too. Boom, ripple effect. The reverse. She starts learning stuff as a travel nurse. She starts telling you all of her knowledge, all of her insights. And when you become a travel nurse, it's like you have a field experience already because she's vicariously kind of like feeding it into your life. This part, I don't know how it's going to manifest. The unexpected change resulting from the eccentricity of your work. When I think of eccentric as like a defined word, it usually means to me like very energetic, okay? So I'm going to synonymously swap that out. An unexpected change resulting from the, I don't even remember what word I just said. It was something. I can't believe I just forgot. As soon as I started my sentence, I was like, I don't remember what I even just said. We both work in the ED right now. It can be pretty eccentric, totally. So again, the unexpected change from, I guess, like the ever movingness, the ever rapid pace of what's happening. Electric, if you will. I can't remember what word I said, but the unexpected change could be any number of things. I would say her leaving and you staying is like something similar to that, but what if all of a sudden you're asked to go too, or to go somewhere different? Like, I think what I'm trying to say is because there's kind of always this like this happening, that could very well impact other aspects about these choices and decisions that maybe aren't obvious yet. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do long distance? How is it gonna go? And then in like 2 months you're back together because something happens and you get transferred. You know what I mean? So in general, it seems like there's gonna be an unexpected change potentially because of the nature of your job and your work. And maybe that's just trying to say physically the unexpected change is that she's leaving all of a sudden. Maybe you just found this out and this is just confirming that. Or maybe the eccentric change is that you're gonna leave too, or go somewhere else. I don't know. But regardless, no negative aspects about the long distance here from what I can see. And if anything, it seems like for the greater good of all humans, this is what we need you to do for everyone's sake. So we're gonna go to action steps, and this is basically like, what can you do to make the situation even better? Even if it's not bad, how can you make it better? We have, again, spiritual, mental, physical answers as follows. Spiritually, you need to stir up the situation by using your vision as a full-time job. When it says your vision, I'm not sure if you understand that. I'm sure you do. Think of it like using your wildest dreams as a reference. Okay, so stir up the situation by using your wildest dreams as a full-time job. Stir up the situation by constantly trying to move the needle of your career and the practice surrounding it into the direction you would like to see it go in, and do that as a full-time job. Never stop thinking about how you can even further shift things. Mentally be open to new ideas about what's new and different about serving. Again, this career is constantly changing. The world around your career is constantly changing, which means how you show up, how you can best serve, is always going to look different. So again, be open to the new ideas about what's new and different about serving. This is not the same career as it was in the 60s, in the 90s, even early 2000s. Completely different career, completely different line of work, different knowledge, and it always will be evolving. So stay open to the new ideas about what's new and different about serving in this career, and more importantly, to each other. Stay open to new ideas and new ways of serving each other as you transition into this long distance relationship. Stay open to new ways of being present for each other, even if they're, again, a little different, a little unconventional. You guys need to figure out what is going to work for you both, and not worry about comparing your lifestyle choices or whatever relationship systems may work for you to anyone else, because it's never going to be a direct comparison. No one else is going to be living the exact life as you are, so you need to do what works for you guys first and foremost. First priority. Lastly, physically, invent a way to use an unconventional way and do it a little at a time. Like over the span of your entire career, maybe. Invent a way through your discoveries I don't know why. And like sometimes when I do these readings, I'm like, I'm talking to the next, you know, Einstein, and I don't even know it. But like, I said it was synonymous with energetic. Thank you. Thank you. It's been bothering me, so thank you. There's something about this reading, I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. I don't know who you are. I don't know who your girlfriend is. But there is something... How do I put this? These cards are making me feel like there is a lot of potential here. A lot of potential just in general with you two being together, knowing each other, having such similar outlooks on life and your career. But then, moreover, on top of that, doing all of that now in today's world with today's, you know, technology, today's discoveries, etc., etc. Don't delete that message, Sanchobi. You can leave that. You know what I'm saying? Like, inventing a new and unconventional way and doing it a little bit at a time, it just speaks very deeply to me about like planting little seeds in a long-standing system that has, again, always been shifting and changing and evolving, and it feels like you're gonna be a direct next step in that evolution. And the more that you guys can keep working and collaborating together, the further the steps will be taken, the higher they will be able to go. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to keep everything kind of vague, but like, again, a lot of potential. A lot of potential from just kind of doing your job for that to mean a lot more than it could. There's a lot of potential for the impact of just doing your job to become, you know, something that becomes really impactful and big for many more people than just you and your girlfriend, if that makes sense. You guys are both in a very integral role of society, and I hope that the feeling that I'm feeling, and you're saying that you feel the same way, is like something that is the utmost of inspiration to both of you. And everything in this reading is saying, especially right now, to everyone else, it might be a little different, might be a little unconventional, might be a little weird, but it's for the service of everyone else, which means inherently it's a good thing. There is going to be genius intertwined within these things, which genius to me is nothing more than, again, the right thought, the right idea at the right time, right? Just being the catalyst to send that idea through from the ether into reality. There's so much life behind that. I don't know how to explain what I'm feeling, but the emotion. Sorry, there's a train. I'm sure you can hear it. I don't want to lose my train of thought, so I'm gonna keep going. That feeling of just kind of like being on the forefront of the next step for humanity, especially medically, very important. A lot is going to happen. Don't lose your hope. Don't lose your faith. Be a very good support for each other. Be a good support to lean on for each other, you know? If it's a hard day, talk about it. Talk about what made it so hard. Try to come up with reasons to make it better, to make it easier. Find the solutions, even if they're just between the two of you and you don't know if it will actually work in practice. theorize it by yourselves. Talk about the hypotheticals, you know? Like, engage in, what was it? Your visions, your highest dreams, your highest ideals of what life could look like. Build that imagination together and do it so successfully within your own lives and relationship that it almost becomes very easy to see it transition into the real world, your life, your jobs, etc. For your dreams to suddenly become a potential reality all of a sudden. You know? I'm gonna pull you an affirmation card. And then I'm gonna shut up. Because I've said a lot today. And thank you for listening. I'm gonna go like this. I'm feeling this one. And it's the one I got yesterday. I easily access my inner guidance when I need it. I totally trust in my ability to face all of life's challenges. I easily access my inner guidance when I need it. I totally trust in my ability to face all of life's challenges. Period. Feel free to screenshot this. I will pull your cards back up one more time so you can screenshot those as well. Here is your action steps. And here is your outcome. And we are at 3 hours and 43 minutes. And I think I'm not even gonna try and push it to 4 hours. I'm just gonna let it be 3 hours and 45 minutes. That seems good to me tonight. I'm gonna take this off of the screen. Let's take a nice deep breath together before I go. I can only breathe so deeply in this corset. Thank you for a wonderful, wonderful week of streams. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as normal. I'm so ready and so excited to have a regular schedule again. A new video will be out this weekend and next weekend, so stay tuned. And until then, have an amazing rest of your day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are on the earth, whatever time it may be for you. Thank you for spending these last 3 hours and 45 minutes here with me. Until next time, take care of yourself. Give yourself some love. Give yourself a hug, a little pat on the back. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. And don't forget to, you can follow my Instagram, but mainly, if you're not on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube because a new video will be coming out. And I don't want you to miss it because it makes me sad. So make sure you go watch. That was my Twitch, but here is the YouTube. Oh, I lied. It's not. It'll be next. 3, 2, 1. There it is. It's pretty much just Cherie everywhere. If you want to find me, you can just look this up and it'll probably pull me up. Okay. We're gonna pop some links in the chat for you. Discord link if you would like to join our Discord. It's pretty active. We do a lot of announcements, different updates. There's tons of different channels to chat in. Join the Discord. There's a Patreon with stream archives. I need to update it, but it's backlogged all the way to 2022. Can you believe? Over 3 years. March of 2022 all the way until like, I think July. Can't remember last time I updated it, but it will be updated again very soon. And some of the live streams from YouTube are gonna go bye-bye onto the archive. So if you have a favorite stream and it's anytime before September, make sure that you watch it now, because it's gonna go on Patreon for the foreseeable future. That's all. I'll see you next week for more live streams. Take care of yourselves. Ciao for now. Bye, guys.